believe this is episode 12.
Episode 12.
We are currently sitting way above the city.
Way up.
Very few people have been this high in Hennepin County. This is one of the most iconic buildings in Minneapolis, the IDS Center.
IDS Center, yep.
And we're here with a very special guest.
The biggest.
Kunle got him on.
Okay, so we call, people call themselves serial entrepreneurs. We have one that's a real serial entrepreneur from nightlife, real estate, roofing, edible arrangements.
You name it.
You name it, he's done it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. I Know Jado Hark.
Thank you. Y'all far too kind.
Appreciate
How'd that
you.
name
Give me a
come
better
along?
intro than I deserve.
Hey, I practiced that for the last 5 days, so.
How'd you get that name? I know Jado.
Yeah, how did I Know Jado become a thing?
It started at Aqua, obviously. One thing I tried to build at Aqua, and I think it played a big role in the success, is making people feel like I truly know them.
Yeah.
It was just calling somebody by their first name as an owner goes a long way. And then I feel like they owe the loyalty back. So a lot of people would show up at the front door and say, I know Jado, because they felt like they truly know me just to get in or skip the line. So, but the true story started from, there's a client that ordered 3 bottles. It was a really busy night. The last bottle took like 15 minutes to come out. So he was freaking out on the server. She came, she was like, yo, can you please talk to him? Because he doesn't want to pay now. So went over there and I'm like, hey, I can take care of the 3rd bottle. I don't have to charge you for it, but you still have to pay the first 2 because they came on time. He was like, no, I'm not paying for any of this shit. You got to comp the whole thing. I'm like, sorry, I can't do that. And he was like, you know what? I know Jado. And you have to get fired. I'm
Wait, he said that to you?
to me, he's like, bro, and he was all confident. I know Jado, and you better kiss your job goodbye. I'm like, bro, please, I got 7 kids. Don't tell Jado.
I gotta feed into it.
And then, I was like, hold on, let me get Jado for you. He was like, go ahead. So I really spin. I'm like, Jado, can I help you? And he was like, oh, bro, I know your cousin. I'm like, bro, he knows you. He told me that. I'm like, even that if I wasn't Jado, that's just a really fucked up way to treat an employee.
A person, yeah.
But that's how it all started. And then another dude came up to the front, and I was outside. And he was like, that's when we had the guest list when we first opened up. And he was like, I'm on Jado's list. And then Mike, the front door guy, was like, didn't see his name. And I'm like, yo, call him. Like, he was like, picked up the phone. Had a full-out conversation with me on the phone. Jado, I'm out here. People's tripping, man. You got to let me.
He was really calling you?
No, he wasn't. He was talking to himself. So.
Oh, God.
Hey, yo.
I'm sitting outside looking at him just laughing. But, but again, it came from the whole concept of making really people feel like I actually do know him.
So I got a question. So I heard there was a potential TV show that was supposed to happen between I Know Jado. Is that true?
That is actually, we shot like 2, I'd say 1.5 seasons. Actually.
Oh, wow.
About
So it is true.
Yeah, about 12 episodes. And I personally funded it at the time. It wasn't like we trying to sell it. We didn't really, at the time, Real TV wasn't as big as it is now. And it was basically just kind of my life behind the scene as a nightclub owner.
Okay.
And it was really dope because it was like, we didn't really fake anything. It was just, our lifestyle.
Yeah, organic.
Yeah, and I think that's why we weren't able to sell it. It wasn't interesting enough from a dramatic standpoint. It was, the partying, the
It was
clubs,
actual
the women.
reality.
Yeah, but it wasn't like we didn't create any, issues and people fighting and arguing. I think that's what, real TV shows mostly.
They wanted that drama.
Yeah,
that it wasn't.
for sure.
It wasn't too much in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, 12 episodes.
12 episodes,
Well,
It's in the vault or where?
Yeah, like what? How did?
still have it?
Can we
I
pull it?
have it. Like I can play. I have the, like the introduction of the first season, the pilot. But Ruby's the one that shot. I mean, I hired people from New York, Arizona, California. I flew out a whole. I mean, she put it all together.
Ruby. Who's
did.
Ruby?
She's one of my good friends. She does commercials for a living.
Okay.
Like she shoots out like $100,000 commercials
Oh,
very
damn.
high and stuff. So I reached out to her about the idea. She put a crew together and then flew them in town. They were here for like a month.
Wow.
We were-
Oh, this is like a
It's
TV.
Like a
real
real TV
deal,
show.
bro.
Let me just tell you. So, just a funny story about what happened with the show. There's one of the characters was Luis. I had a record label at the time, Velvo. So
Great
Luis
place.
was one of my artists. He was.
Oh, we'll get to Velvo. Don't worry.
Velvo? I gotta.
We
Yeah,
know
I don't know about
Oh,
Velvo.
Velvo's coming up.
Okay, we'll get to
Forward
that.
to it, but so me and so we're all mic'd up, right? Break. We go out to the car, smoke a joint. So we're in the car, and then there was one of the videographers that was shooting was super bad, like 4-year-old mom, but gorgeous.
Top.
Talk about like as a MILF can get.
Okay.
And
talk about it.
We get in the car, we smoke a blunt. I'm like, Luis, I want to hit that so bad. He was like, Jado, you have no idea. I want to do this, and that. And our mic are on. And her husband works on set with us. I have no fucking idea. Yo, it's her. They literally heard the whole conversation. Ruby's blowing up my phone, like, turn your fucking shit on. We heard everything. So, yeah, I mean,
I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about the
Hey, that's not reality. That's reality TV, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't turn your mic
So that's
off,
the
you get
stuff they were
shit.
looking at. That was the stuff they wanted you to really show. Yeah,
Maybe if
drama.
I put that on,
that
I
on.
would have bought
You
that
put
shit.
it.
for sure. So we've known each other almost coming up on 10 years, I'd say, maybe more at this point. Obviously, both of us have worked in several different industries, had several different businesses.
Yep.
I know for myself, everything for me centers around music.
Yep.
What industry are you the most passionate about, business-wise?
Nightclub.
Okay,
Just
so
that
nightlife.
industry. It's just, now I have a family, I have kids. It's kind of hard to relate to it like I did now, but I just always tell people that shit is in my blood. Like that's the business that I truly miss.
Yeah.
Would I ever go back into it? Probably not. It's just I'm in a different place in my life. I'm doing a lot better. Spending time with my family, just mentally, that shit drains you. Being up to, God created us to sleep at night, being up during the day. No matter how long you do it for, your body could never adjust. So it takes a toll on your body, mentally, physically. So I'm at a point in life where I just can't go back to that, but I do miss it.
Aqua had a 10-year run though, like 11 years.
Yeah.
Like that's unheard of right
Bro,
now.
clubs in Minnesota last average 4 years, maybe.
Maybe
That's a good run.
that's a great run. How did
I mean, just to be still hearing the stories about it,
Yeah.
people speaking
Yeah.
about it so
I still see
legendarily.
tweets saying,
Shouldn't we?
"Bring
No
Aqua
way.
back,
For real?
bring the Aqua back."
That shit doesn't make me, it bothers me because I feel like, that's when I miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I still had it. That one side of me tells me I wish I had it. Some of me, I'm glad I'm over that business, especially after you went with COVID and you see everybody
Right.
struggle.
Right.
You feel like you made the right decision stepping out at the right time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that to me, and I'm not being biased, that's a historic place downtown. For
sure.
Not because we were open for 12 years, it's because we sold it for $1 million after 12 years.
Heard you.
Most people either shut it down or, they
Right.
end up
But
selling
you're
it.
still profiting.
Yeah, same ownership, same name, same concept. You still, 12 years, you're able to do numbers to sell it for that number. It's kind of significant.
How'd you get started in nightlife?
You probably guys don't even remember Escape Ultra Lounge. It was
Before my time.
Too young,
it was-
too young,
I
too young,
was-
too young,
I
too
wasn't
young.
I've
even-
heard about it.
I was even 21 to be able to get in.
Oh,
but I knew-
wow.
So, that's what it's the first club I went to was Fahrenheit and Escape. It was in Block E, like where it's right next to
In Block E?
It
They
was
had a club
Block
in
E.
there?
It was in Block E, second
Wow.
level. Yeah, I mean,
What's Block E?
Block E is where they had the movie theater, Cold Stone,
Oh, where
Oh,
Game Works
wow.
and all that
Game
was?
Works.
Lowe's
Oh, yeah,
Hotel.
yeah, yeah, yep.
It's the same
So
building.
the building's still there. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
it's the
they've
Mayo
just
Clinic
transformed
shit
it a
now,
lot.
right?
Yeah, I mean, the first club that offered bottle service in Minnesota was Escape.
Escape.
Yo, Escape
I've heard
Ultra
of it. Yeah, now that you say it,
Yeah.
they had the radio commercials and all that.
Yeah.
I was too young though.
It was literally the dopest spot. So then the GM there, his name was Song, Asian cat, really good dude. I met him when I used to go there just pop bottles. I mean, I wasn't even 21. He would get us because we'd go in, spend money. I mean, I was young and dumb, obviously, but I was still in college at the time. So I went in, partied there a lot, and then he ended up getting fired for whatever reason. And then he reached out to me wanting an investor. He wanted to open his own spot. So I said, I get to fucking own a club. I'm like, where do I sign? So we started the process. He's the one that actually found the Aqua location.
Oh, really?
And then we met with the landlord at the time, and then we got the stuff rolling. We sat down, we started business planning, the whole process. I mean, 6 months into it, we're full force in. He was at my house. We were ordering the coolers for the kitchen, and then ended up leaving. I got a call from his fiance, and she was like, "Song just collapsed. Like we were taking him to the hospital. He was just jogging." So we ended up going to the hospital. He went into coma. He they had him for like 2 weeks. They ended up pulling the plug on him. He had passed away. So I reached out. I was at a point like, what the fuck do I do? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like,
Right.
Do I keep this going for a song? Do I just, we're already invested. We have spent a lot of money in. So I ended up reaching out to a guy named Lucas, who was Song's best friend. And he's the one that taught him the business when he first started as a GM. I said, Lucas, you got to help me out. He was like, I'm retired. I want nothing to do with the business. I'm like, you got to do this for Song. Like, if you don't help me out, I'm fucked. So
Right.
he was like, all right, I'll do a 1-year deal with you, and I'm out. I said, that's all I need. Just teach me the ropes, and you're good. And that's what happened. Lucas signed up, took it up from there. We ended up opening the club, ran it for a year. Then he moved on to another venture. And then when we first opened Aqua, Sunday was our hip hop night, but we named it Shy. It was
we know
Shy.
about Sundays.
Shy? Yeah, I mean, but the first 2 years it was called Shy Night.
What year was that?
Yeah.
Wait, it wasn't
2007.
called Aqua?
Oh,
It was Aqua Friday, Saturday. Sunday was Shy Nightclub. And it was
wow.
different. The menu says Shy Nightclub. We had a different sign that goes up, says Shy Nightclub. And it's because his name was Song Ho Yu. It was his initial. So out of respect for him, I dedicated a night for him for the first couple of years. And then we just end up, it was just a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
People thinking it's a different place. And so I just end up, putting it back as Aqua. But
maybe
for-
that even kind of helped to differentiate Sundays from the rest of the
Yeah.
week.
It did at one point, but then, like I said, I thought it carried more confusion than
Yeah,
anything else. So,
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how Aqua started. And
Man, you talked about a lot though, like just to have a business and start it right away,
Yeah.
and then immediately have to deal with something that it's out of your control.
Yeah, I remember
Right.
I was 24 years old. I was
Right.
like, I didn't know much at 24. Or so.
You didn't own any real estate at that time, right?
No. I was actually, right before I went Aqua, I was taking my real estate class to become
The
an
exam.
agent.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, got caught up in the Aqua thing, and I never ended up following up with it. So,
So when did
Hey,
you
came
understand
back
like
full circle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, literally. When did you understand like what made you go into real estate right away? Was there something that like somebody told you something? You just kind of had a hint like this is the way to get money?
it was just, I wanted to go into a business where I can utilize my network that I've built over the years with the clubs. So I'm like, what's a good business that doesn't take a huge investment, and then I can just obviously learn, and as I go, and I can use this network. And then Rubio was my first. He wanted to sell, and he wanted to move, so kind of motivated me to get my license because I can sell his condo. And that
That's
was
Ricky.
my first.
Ricky
yeah.
Rubio.
Yeah, Ricky
So,
Rubio for anybody that didn't know.
Yeah, so end up, my first transaction was listing his home.
Oh yeah.
And downtown Minneapolis. So just kind of a couple things motivated me, and I just ended up doing it. And then the first year I wasn't even doing it full time. I was doing more construction than in real estate. Then I realized how easy it is to make money in real estate, and I just committed to it full time.
Yeah, it's a hell of a first start.
Would
Ricky
either
Rubio's.
of you guys consider getting into real estate as
Definitely.
an agent or an
Definitely,
investor?
actually,
Oh, for
100%. Like, I've thought about it.
Man,
I'm
honestly,
saving up for a multifamily. That's my first FHA and
So you want to
multifamily
be an
and
investment, real
get some
estate
units.
investor?
I mean, you could house hack too.
Okay.
So stay in it. Then after a year, rent out the crib you were living in, and
or you can do a duplex, live in one and rent the other one.
Yeah.
And now, like, there's a just really dope. I'm not trying to sell real estate, but talking about it, there's a dope Minnesota housing program where they pay your down payment and they give you closing costs up to
Oh, really?
$17K. Like, I have 2 deals currently. They both put $1,000 down payment. That's the only thing you have to
Jeez.
pay, and they're closing on their house in March.
damn,
Wow.
multifamilies or
Yeah,
single family homes?
Single family.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do multifamily.
You can do
use
multifamily
the
with it
program
too?
for multifamily, but you have to occupy one of them. It
Right.
can't be for investment.
Right.
You can rent the other one, but you have to occupy one of the sides.
What's
So,
the program called?
Minnesota
Minnesota
housing housing program?
Minnesota
There's
housing
just
program?
2 requirements: a minimum of 640 credit score,
Okay.
and then you had to be at the same job for 2 years.
Okay.
And if you got unemployment for COVID,
Mm-hmm.
that is considered income too if you're back at your job.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're talking about credit. I know you've done being in real estate. You probably dealt with so many people with various amounts of like bad, high, low credit scores. Like, what's your advice for like somebody who's maybe trying to get into some real estate and they need their credit's a little womped up?
I would there's little stuff that you can do that can really jump your credit that people don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is there's a lady that I use that's her expertise. She's not one of those people that just takes shit off your credit.
Right.
She basically goes and tells you this is what you need to do to get your credit up.
Mm-hmm.
Pay this off. The best thing you can do is get a credit card just without even looking at your credit. Charge what you can and pay it off every month.
Right.
Don't have this thing. It just even if you run $1,000, bring it up, pay it off at the end of the month, and your credit will go up. The thing that's kind of messed up in this country is credit is everything. That's what people
Right.
don't understand. It's
Right.
it's
Yeah.
a huge key. I mean, I can walk in without even having shown what income, any place, basically buy anything I want with the credit that I have. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you basically how
Right.
powerful that is, right? The problem in this country is they don't tell you that at an age where you
Not
can
at all.
control it. Like I'm literally, my 6-year-old daughter knows how important credit is. I've already trained her. Like this is what you need to do. I mean, to set yourself up to even not buy a house, but be in a position where you can do whatever you want if you have to.
That's powerful.
Well, they should
And
probably teach it in school, I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They don't. And let me just tell you how fucked up the system is in America. I went to a French high school in Lebanon before I came here, and everything I took in high school I had already known in middle school. So high school was just breeze for me. But the problem in this country is, and I love America. I'm not going to say I owe everything to this country. I've been put in a position that I would never be if I was anywhere else in the world. So I'm not trying to take away. But the way the system is built is not for us to succeed. They teach you in school to go to a good school so you can be accepted at a good college so you can get a good job. I'm teaching my kid how to fucking own a business by the time she's done with high school. How how to actually make your own money.
Right.
College is great. I love education, but 99% of my millionaire friends have never gone to college.
Right.
Things are changing. Nowadays, kids are making millions behind a laptop.
Hello.
This isn't the 90s anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things are adapting. I'm serious. And people are saying, why is this, current housing market is crazy? Because it's easier to make money than it was 10, 20 years ago. People can't afford buying homes.
Yeah, with these.
People don't need to sell a home because they're already making their money, right? So, and that's the reason we're witnessing the craziest real estate market we've ever witnessed in the country. It's because people are making a lot more money and they don't need, now they can buy, and the people that already have don't need to sell.
Yeah.
So we go back again to the same subject of, the system doesn't teach you what you need to do to be successful on your own. They always want you to be dependent on the government. They want you to be dependent on the system where you go, asking for help, where they can take advantage of you, right?
Yeah, because if I cause the problem
Yeah.
and have the solution, you'll forever need me.
Absolutely. And that's the problem that we're currently facing in these times too.
Exactly.
They keep trying to make you feel like you need us. You can't do anything unless, we improve.
Right.
Yeah, because even when I was young, when my parents, they dealt with different credit issues and stuff, and so it's like when I was getting preached to credit, it was like, credit's bad, stay away from it. But it's like, the more and more you realize how money actually works, it's like you realize credit is actually king to cash. Man.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, so if I have a good credit score, not only can I buy a crib, I can get a car, I can get this loan, I can do whatever I actually tangibly want if I have good credit. And all credit is them giving you money and you being responsible enough to pay the money back.
Right.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I tell people cash is trash. Cash means nothing in this country anymore. I mean, honestly, if you have cash in your account, you're spending it.
Yeah, if you're just sitting on cash,
you're spending it. It doesn't, just even with the inflation the way it is now, if you have money accessible to you, it means nothing. You're gonna waste it. You're gonna spend it. You're better off putting it in real
into
estate.
something. Yeah.
Y'all want some wine?
Oh, for sure.
I want to take credit. I got Kunle into drinking wine.
Oh, really? That's
You and Eli Fema.
Yeah,
I'll give it to
absolutely.
him and Eli Fema.
It's
I
the
got you
healthiest
into
drinking.
it.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
The start, Eli, the actual being let's
Connoisseur?
try different things.
For sure.
I'll give it to Cam.
And shout out
You might
to
go
Eli.
down to
by
the
the
kind
way.
of
Shout out to
store now,
Eli.
I
Yo,
Fema.
that's my dude. One of the
Yeah.
most genuine, kindest dude in this industry. So
Literally.
Eli gave us a great episode, probably about an hour and a half. He described the bread making process to the tea.
Yeah.
He described how they're making sauces and Moroccan butters.
It's like the passion he was
Oh, he
speaking
was
about
so
bread.
passionate.
It was just
I
like,
loved
yeah.
it.
yeah, him and his dad are two of the finest people in Minnesota in that industry. I mean, overall, but in that service industry, they're literally the top two I would go to.
Yeah,
So,
they know how to make you feel. Like you said,
Yeah, you
with
go to
Aqua, make
FEMA's,
you feel at home.
Yeah.
You feel special.
yeah.
That's for sure.
It's the experience and
Yeah.
the service that
They
they
come
provide.
by, explain
Yeah.
the whole menu to you, to
Yeah.
tea each product.
Yeah.
So while we're on that topic, we might as well speak about restaurants a little bit locally. Where are you frequenting as far as, a nice dinner, Friday, Saturday evening?
I'm a sucker for Fogo. Like
Yeah.
I'm at Fogo 3-4 days. a week.
I
It's
did
just-
steak
meet
guy.
him.
Big steak guy.
He bought an outfit from me. He's like, "Yeah, bro, just pull up on me and folk."
I mean,
Mid dinner, he comes out like, "Yeah, bro, just give me the bag."
that's always been my go-to, and honestly, not because of it's not. People just think Fogo is expensive, and I'm not saying that because the value of money, but you can't go to a restaurant where you got a full open salad bar, 14 cuts of meat for $55.
Yeah.
right? You go to Manny's, you order one piece of steak for 150.
30 at lunch, right? It's like
Yeah,
30.
30,
It's
yeah,
a lot
35.
cheaper lunchtime too.
Yeah.
I frequent there
55 for
at lunch.
dinner.
Damn.
And it's
my
a
man
cool
Jado
spot.
Cup, man. You know
Oh yeah,
what's
I'll take a
want some
glass.
cab, man.
Thank you.
And I want to get back to Velvo, the
Yeah.
records. Let's talk current music in Minnesota first
Yeah.
before we go backwards.
Yeah.
Who are you listening to? Who have you seen, that's making some noise, making an impact locally here in the scene? I know you've been pretty tapped in, got some good friends that make music.
I have. I was helping few people just kind of just because I was involved in the industry a little bit. I was helping Andre out a little bit too. He's currently overseas.
Shout out to Andre.
We actually had him on our first or second episode.
Yeah, we did. That was that's a Vault one. That's a Vault one.
Yeah, I genuinely love that kid. He's a really good dude, and he's very talented. But the current one I would say is the one I listen to the most is Jay Plaza. To me, dude is. I mean, I'm a TikTok junkie, and he's one of the very few people that actually is actively active on TikTok. And I strongly believe in the app. I've seen people blow up and making
you were early on
Yeah,
TikTok.
let's talk about TikTok actually. Let's talk about
sure.
that. How'd you what was like cuz you got what 350K followers now?
510.
Ooh, sheesh. Let me not disrespect Jay.
No, it's all good.
Let me not disrespect
No.
Jay.
He ended up
Half a
on
milli. He said
ridiculous
half a
TikTok.
milli with a rich milli. You hear me? But yeah, how'd you get into it? Like, what was the?
I just, I started, somebody told me about the app. That was like 2018 when it first came out. And I just checked it. I'm like, this is actually a cool concept, right? So I'm a goofy dude at like just in general. So I wanted to get on an app where I can just be goofy myself without having to be professional, right? And then without having people accessible to my product. Like I just want to post some dumb shit on there,
And
right?
just be you.
Yeah. So so I got on it and I just posted it and I just loving it. And the reason I have that kind of following was because I got on it early, right? So you know how it works with the For You page. When there's 1,000 people posting, your probability to make on the For You page is a lot higher than if there's 1 million people posting, right? So now I don't get on the For You page as often. I still maybe 1 out of 10 will make on the For You page because algorithm shows you've been on there before, so that likelihood is they'll if it's getting certain attention when you first post it from your own followers, they'll throw on the For You page. But now you're going against millions and people that is posting, so likelihood is you're not going to make it as much as I did at the time. So but like I said, I watched Lil Nas X blow up. Just rent. I mean, you look at these kids that are living in LA, the life making $1 million
Off TikTok.
just by posting videos. Like this is what I tell like people that actually have a certain following. I'm like, you gotta utilize it. I get paid off of everybody else get paid per view. Like it's the only app that actually pays people directly through the app, right? So the more you post, the more views, the more money you get paid, right?
Yeah.
And I met a kid from Minnesota who was in Brazil, really smart young kid, had about 1.3 million followers. I'm like,
You met him here?
I met him here, yeah.
Okay.
I was selling his brother house. Okay. He was like, yo, you should talk to my brother. He has really this crazy thing going on TikTok. So I met with him at the office. I'm like, bro, this should be your full-time job.
Right.
You should have an alarm, get up at 8 o'clock, act like this is a 9 to 5 job. Post videos all day, every day. It's just about how many views you get. That's how much money you get. You know what I'm saying? And the more you post, the more likely you're going to go on the For You page. That's how you're going to build more followers. So, and he's like, he got signed by this
Like an agency?
Yeah, like an agency, and they flew him to Brazil, and he goes and he's like, there's like one of those houses, like
content houses.
Yeah, and then he's part of it in Brazil, and he has a huge,
That's
following.
fire.
That's
yeah,
actually
like
hard.
and they
dope.
pay him to be there, and he's still making off. He has to give him some commission off of his videos, but still, so they feed off of each other's followings too.
So we're hearing get in early. I mean, for somebody who's just getting in the game, obviously they don't have that opportunity. What are you and Plaza doing content-wise?
Like, how'd you figure out the algorithm?
It's just you got to know what video you post works for you, right?
Okay.
And that's how you figure out your algorithm. So Plaza, he's just talented as fuck. Like the
He's
guy
a rapper,
actually can
like,
spit.
he really is a rapper.
Yeah, he actually can. He's one of the very few people in Minnesota that can say they can truly spit bars.
Yeah,
Like,
go bar for bar with a lot of people.
His flow
No
is
cap.
dope. Like to me, like Dookie is probably the best rapper to ever come out of Minnesota. With all respect to everyone, like, and hasn't done music in for as long, but he's the dude that actually sat in the studio and my jaw dropped. Like, this dude can he like remind me basically Busta Rhymes and Eminem in one.
Right.
Like he just goes, his flow is crazy, and he's just really good lyricist too. So, but Jay, like to go back on the Jay Plaza subject, dude is actively on TikTok. He goes and finds what's trending. Like he just did. There was a trend going on with Russ.
Oh yeah, he just did the
right? Yeah,
fine or whatever. Like,
right,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yep.
shit just went crazy, and he had a bunch of following, and that's what you need to do. You need to really
Research.
see what's research, see what's trending. Put your own spin on it,
yep.
and post it. That's what you have to do to make it on TikTok. And this is, I mean, I strongly still believe it's not too late to get on TikTok, it's still the future of social media.
No, like 100,000%.
Because they're even incorporating to the point where you can do your clothes and stuff like that. They're integrating clothing stuff into that, which will change the game.
A lot of labels find artists through TikTok now.
Yeah.
RP, you posting a lot of TikTok?
I don't really be using TikTok that much. I
See,
try.
that's something.
I be trying, bro. It just don't be hitting.
You have to.
It's just
You gotta keep
consistent.
trying.
You gotta keep going.
You gotta keep trying. And speaking of clothing,
Man, the TikToks, he be posting TikToks like a motherfucker.
Cheney does post TikToks.
Bro, I'm telling you, you cannot post enough. Yeah. Post everything. But you got to figure out the algorithm. You got to see what video hit, and you got to see why it hit. You know what I'm saying? So it could be the sound, it could be the lighting, it could be certain things that you just got to implement it again. But speaking of clothing, I had a video that I posted with my daughter. She happened to have a champion suit on. And then next thing I know, I get a comment from Champion, says, check your DM. I go on my DM and say, hey, we want to sponsor your daughter.
Oh my
now
goodness.
I get 2 outfits a month. I have to post 1 video a week with her, and they give her $400.
That's
and then,
fire.
And right? So,
she's a real entrepreneur at her.
Yeah,
she's a real influencer.
Part of my success is my kid. Like, she's literally made to be in front of the camera.
She's so cute, too.
Thank you.
Gotta exploit our kids on social media.
You have to. I mean, like, my younger daughter, she's the opposite. She's shy. She doesn't like to be on camera. My other daughter was like, yo, can we get on TikTok? Like, we haven't done one in a day. So,
facts. See, those videos be always hilarious.
Man, when your daughter asks you to do something, you just kind of got to do it.
You have no choice.
What's the balance though? Like, because we were talking about like Mark. Well, he had a kid, and even with Cam, with Yumi, we were just talking about like how do you balance that between like, okay, how much time are they spending in front of the screen, and how much time are they doing, real life activities that take them out of that like warp, like numbness? Because some of those kids get numb when they just look at the screen.
They do, and I'll be honest. I think I struggle with that. I should do a lot better job controlling the screen time for her, and I don't. I get stuck in the idea of she's getting the attention, and I want her to stay kind of keep that rolling,
stay focused in that lane,
right, and that's not healthy for a child. Like I said, I can do a better job controlling that. I mean, she still has a certain time that she can be on. I just feel like I extend that. I should limit that.
Yeah,
more.
I do the same.
Yeah,
because it's like sometimes I just got to do a couple things around the house, and it's like if you can watch the iPad or just watch this movie, it can give me the extra 20, 30 minutes I need to just at least finish cleaning up or whatever,
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of that, so one time she was doing something to her sister, my older daughter. I'm like, Rita, if you don't stop, I'm gonna take your iPad. And she goes, take it. What you gonna do? Play with me instead?
Oh, wow. See?
I'm like, here's your iPad.
Take this.
Take it. I don't even care.
So,
man, yeah.
Like,
see,
you guys
got
on my bluff.
I don't have that. I don't have the perspective, so it's always good to like ask some of those questions from like fathers. Like, just you never get those day to day.
Let me tell you something about fatherhood. It's the greatest thing, and I don't mean to sound cliche. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I'm today. I didn't go home. Like, I usually try to make it so I can put him to bed. I feel like something's missing because I didn't put him to bed tonight, right? And you got to be ready. Like, you have to. It changes your whole life.
Yeah.
I feel like I got married at 30. I had my first child at 32. I felt like I did it the right way with the timing. I probably wouldn't have been ready to have it at 25. You probably can't relate. You had a kid at a younger age. You have to be ready. Live your life. Get out your system, because once you have a kid, that becomes your life. Your whole life becomes surrounded, based on your kid and their life and their schedule and what they're exposed to. So get it as a system. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but at the same time, it can also help you get focused. So if you're maybe, at 18, 19, I don't know, mentally you're probably not ready. You haven't had enough experiences. But I had my daughter when I was 24, turning 25.
Okay.
At that time, it was a pivotal point in my life where it's either I could go down this road and nightlife could be everything I'm obsessed with, or I could switch lanes and do the family thing, and now everything else falls to the back. But now everything falls to the back with this extra passion, extra drive behind it too, because I got to put on for my kid.
Yeah.
So, it's a toss-up. Like you said, you got to be ready for yourself. Only you can tell yourself that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, you got a whole nother plate to feed, so it's like, we got to eat.
Yeah,
we got to eat.
Absolutely. They make you look at life at a whole different light. Like, just the way you talk, the way you think, the way you act. I was put in a situation in a public place that I probably would have handled a lot more aggressively if my kid wasn't there. I paused and I looked. I'm like, I cannot even act the way I am.
Them to see
that. Absolutely. So I literally, boom, 180, walked the other way. So it just, it makes you just a whole different person.
Yeah, I want a son though. I think my connection will be a little bit.
That's
different.
crazy. I was just about to ask him. Do you want a son, Jado?
See, I'm happy with 2 girls. Right. Honestly, originally our culture, we're all about having a kid to carry our
yeah,
name
yeah.
and the boy.
The junior.
I wouldn't trade my girl for 20 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, I'm good. My wife is happy with 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're best friends. They get along great. I don't know how I would be around a boy. I'm good, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
originally I did. Now I can't see myself having a boy.
Yeah, at least you're comfortable with it now. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go back to the Velvo convo.
Velvo.
Yeah.
What is this? Explain this because I don't know about this.
Great time.
Great time. What?
What
So
made
you were part of the record label?
Nah, I just used to record with them.
So what made you?
RP the rapper?
Yeah, that's the first studio I ever went to. That's how I met Jado.
They met
It's like 11, 12 years
early,
ago.
bro. He was like 12 or
I
13.
was like 12 or 13. I met him at the gym at the water fountain. And I told him I'm better than any rapper on your label.
With confidence.
Confidence, motherfucker. He gave me his email and I sent him a song before I even left the gym.
I swear, he's not even exaggerating. He came up to me, he's like, I'm the greatest rapper you ever see. I'm better than anybody in your squad. I'm like, how do you know about Velvo? I'm like, you're like 12.
How did you find out?
The internet.
The internet, bro.
Internet, yeah,
That's when we
you're
were
right.
already on the internet heavy.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into the record business, number one, and who were some of the people that were integral to building that with you?
Just my passion for music, and I've always wanted to invest in Minnesota, like general and mostly in the people and the talent. I love the city. Like Minneapolis is my heart. It belongs here. Like no matter how successful I get, no matter how much money I make, I'll never leave the city. I might go spend time, winter week, month here, months there, but I would never leave the city. I'll die here. I genuinely love, and it's a great place to raise a family. I just, like I said, I was on Aqua. I met a lot of young artists that didn't have a platform, didn't have a place to record, and he'll tell you, I'm like, go and record. You don't ever have to pay me $1. Like it was all love. You know what I'm saying? So,
Who was around? Who was around at that time?
it was Brandon.
Brandon Zera, Twin
Twin
City
City
CEO.
CEO.
Shout out to him.
For sure, that's my guy too. He's one of them. He brought me into the actual space. It was Brandon.
He had the space already.
Yeah, it was Amazing.
Amazing,
Okay.
yep.
And Brandon, and I'm taking it from E. E is one of the main people that actually stuck around and produced a lot when there. Misho,
He ran a couple of my sessions too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
Misha
met
was one of
Misha
my main
before.
guys too. Misha to me is like the most loyal friend I've ever had. So he's been with me through day one. That's probably it. And then we brought Keys, Freddie, all these young cats were around too. First few artists I had was Taylor Quick, T Quick.
I remember T Quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rocky
Rock.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
Yep. Rocky. Rocky was talented as shit too.
I want to
man.
see him make a comeback.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I think
I
he's
think
due
he
for
got it.
one.
He could do it if he really wanted to.
Rocky, he's his own. He's his biggest enemy is himself. Like he's super talented. He has it. He's always had it. I'm like you said. I still think he can make a comeback. He just needs to get out of his world and just really focus on music. So.
Yeah.
I could say that about a lot of artists in Minnesota, though. We see them
Not about 90%.
have these 6-week runs where they drop 2-3 videos and they're moving, and then they get some looks,
Yeah.
and then out of nowhere you just see them disappear. You don't
Yep.
hear from them for a while,
Absolutely.
and they try to pop back up. It doesn't
It's
work so
too
well
late.
anymore.
Once you lose that wave, it's
Yeah.
like if you don't keep building that wave,
Yeah.
once you lose that wave, people are gonna look at you as the person that fell off.
Right.
They're less likely to want to hop on it now. You feel me?
Right.
And I think too, it's just like a lot of people. We always say like a lot of people want to do stuff, but then when they realize what it actually takes to do it,
Facts.
it's intimidating. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you hit that first wall
Yeah.
of bullshit, because it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
Are you gonna fold? Do you really care about it enough to keep going? You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I think that helps with a lot of stuff. I mean, you said it when you started your club. Like you had a passion. You had a friend. Like I had to do this for my friend. That's what probably pushed even more
Absolutely.
than your passion for the nightclub. You know?
I still get. I got emotion telling the story. Like it's
Mhm.
you get emotionally invested in these type of people and stuff. So, but since we're talking about this, who's Mount Rushmore in Minnesota for artists? Like who's the top 5?
50 Tyson.
Gotta be up there
That's
for
my
sure.
dog.
I met
my
50
dog.
Tyson and I think I just turned like 19 in like Club New York. And that's when I first met
Man,
50
he used to
Tyson, man.
stay in dream. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He would hit me up. I'm outside Aqua. Get me in.
That's the first viral like Minnesota
For real,
video I
though.
think I
Yeah,
ever
viral,
seen, bro.
viral.
Like
Kevin Hart made a
viral.
video and
For sure.
everything.
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, I would say Fly.
Mm-hmm.
He made an extreme impact. He had his own
Absolutely.
sound that we had never heard before.
Yeah, Henderson.
Flag for sure.
I would
RIP.
say AR. A lot of
Okay.
people don't talk about
I like
AR as
AR.
much as they
Yeah.
used to.
Yep.
He has a beautiful voice and made also an extreme impact.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two that come off the top of my head. But like right now, we could talk about
Let's talk about right now, Mike
Yeah.
Rushmore.
Casey.
KC for sure.
Gotta put Plaza in there.
Gotta put Plaza in there.
Yeah. We could
I just need a tape from Plaza. Like, I need that tape, EP.
Sure.
You hear me, Plaza? I know you're gonna be watching, so I need that EP or something.
Like a lot of times, I really feel like tapes are not really worth it these days. Because at the end of the day, if the singles are hitting, just keep coming with singles consistently. Because to get someone to really sit down and listen to 8 songs, or rather just have them listen to those 8 songs in a matter of consecutive weeks.
But it's like when Drake drops the album.
That's Drake.
Okay, but we're talking about that's the biggest artist. You want to emulate the biggest of the best, right?
But
what they drop in tapes.
It takes time to get to that point where
I
people
know
are going to
that.
be waiting for that.
But he dropped So Far Gone, right?
Sure did.
Yeah.
And then he build up to the big albums. That's all I'm asking for.
No, you gotta come with a project.
You gotta come with a project, bro.
I want to hear a full body of work because
it shows.
It shows that
as a fan, I appreciate a full body work. A single is cool. I fuck with it. But a body of work is like, okay, now I can rock with you. I can see what you're really about because you're putting your heart on it.
I agree. I just don't see anybody truly committed to being an artist in Minnesota. Like, I love like Mac Irv. I feel like he's, he put out a great album. I love he's one of my favorite, current artists out.
Oh yeah, he's well up there on the recents, I would say, for me.
Like Plaza, like these guys, like you want them to put out constant music out. That's what gets people. That's why Drake is the greatest artist, in my opinion, in the world. Is because every year you're getting an album. You know what I'm saying? Every year, it might take a little longer, right? But he always drops an album. Consistency is key in every business, so.
Especially music, though.
Yeah,
because
facts.
And it's not just about being consistent as far as your work ethic. It's about being consistent as far as your image, being consistent as far as networking. Like, we could do real estate, and if the deal goes through the correct way, we maintain the property, you don't ever have to see us again.
Absolutely.
But music-wise, if we don't see you for 6 months, we're not thinking about you.
You fell off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't got to clout chase. You don't have to have a viral moment every week. But you got to stay in tune with these supporters, these fans, and they're gonna be looking to see you. They want to know what you're wearing, what you're eating, what your jewelry you have. It's even more so now with the digital age. You got to stay consistent with your image and being in contact with people. Yeah. And I think a lot of people forget that. They go and lock themselves away in the studio and think that's the only portion. Now you got a bunch of fire music, but you haven't built the base and the brand, so it's like it's tough.
Facts. Most fans, they want to see your lifestyle because they're gonna support people that they want to be like. You know what I mean?
And especially with the power of social media these days.
And I think too with social media, it's like you can kind of hide behind social media. So I could build if I'm like Cold, I could build a big following on social media and never really have to tangibly talk to anybody. But then when it turns to like, say when COVID, like some people blew up over COVID, but then now tour life is coming back. And do you have that same presence that you had on SoundCloud and
that's the
Spotify?
That's the difference between artists that sell out tours and artists that do numbers on streams, but they're not doing no numbers. You know what
exactly,
I mean?
Right.
Like you can see an artist that streams is 10 times bigger than an artist that's selling 3,000 tickets, and you might be selling 300. You know what I mean? I saw Gravy sell out Armory with Dylan
I was just
Francis,
gonna bring that up.
and I saw Young Blue sell 300 tickets at Varsity Theater last year.
Last year, right.
You know what I mean?
For sure. But like, for example, like Gravy, sorry, I'll answer your question, but
hold it.
He's very consistent, right? Like that's why I think he was able to sell out the Armory.
Yeah.
Like he stepped out in Minnesota, but he still reps Minnesota and he still constantly put music out. Well, somebody else I want to throw out there, Bobby raps. Like that dude.
You gotta put him. Bobby
you gotta throw Bobby on there because
Bobby.
That's as pure as talent can get, right? Like dude is just on another level, producing wise. I think he just doesn't.
He could even freestyle too. You know that?
For sure.
Bobby could really freestyle.
I haven't seen it in my eyes, but I would definitely believe it. I'm a fan of his production. I hear tons of records that people probably don't know that he produced.
Yeah.
Fine China from the Juice World, Future.
Weekend. He's done a couple songs on Weekend. Yeah, for sure. The guy is just pure talent, and he's just not. You don't see it because he's not on social media. He doesn't really care.
He doesn't give a
But and that's part of makes him special because he doesn't try. And I really fuck with Rashawn as a producer too. These guys, you gotta understand, like they've actually stepped out of their comfort zone. They went to a very competitive market like Cali, and they really made it. So I gotta show respect to all these kids. They make us proud.
Yeah, and we love to see Minnesota people grow up.
Sure.
Absolutely. Should we? Hold
on, I do want to touch back on that. So while we're talking about Gravy, what was your involvement in the Armory as far as transforming that building and
I wasn't involved
Okay.
like from like day-to-day stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very close friends with the owner and the people, the management. Rich is to me is the godfather of Minnesota. He's one of the most respected, liked, feared. He's all in one. Like Rich to me is an idol in Minnesota. It's just
Rich holds it
it's
down,
hard.
man.
Yeah, man.
Rich holds
He's
it
just
down.
The real one.
his character, his personality. He genuinely fucks with people. He shows love. He shows respect. But you better not cross that, man. That's like to me, that's somebody I aspire to be as far as on that level. Just the way he carries himself. He's I think he's part of the reasons Armory is that successful as well.
I believe so.
And
I never had a bad time at the Armory.
sure.
We were just saying
Nah,
it
for
the other
real
day.
though. Some of the funnest nights.
For sure, yeah. I mean, Rain. They're opening Aqua again, called Vanquish now. I'm really excited to see how they're only opening Sundays now, so
Oh, it's only gonna be one day a week.
just one day a week. They
Are
might
you-
eventually down the road do more.
Okay.
I actually just hit up Rich and Luis. I said I want to host like an Aqua night.
Wow,
one
I
night.
was
So
just gonna
let's
ask,
do
are you gonna
one
tempt your
crazy
hand?
night.
Is
Yeah,
this
that's
a-
gonna be.
You heard it here first,
the
ladies
whole
and
city gonna
gentlemen.
come out. The
You
whole
heard it
city will be
here
there.
first.
Absolutely. So
We
I literally-
might have an Aqua night.
Yeah, we will. We will.
But it's
we're
so
gonna
much
make
to
it
live up to. It's like you got to go
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey, the
Oh,
city
for
gonna
sure,
shut
for
But
sure.
down.
That's
That's
like
the
so
set.
nostalgic to so many people that
Yeah.
I don't see no one that's not gonna go.
Yeah, ball
Yeah.
players and all that.
Everybody, that's nostalgia. You feel me?
for sure.
There was a lot of people that were in from out of town that were visiting Aqua. Like, wow, I didn't even know Minnesota even get down like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Absolutely.
Khaled was in Aqua.
Man, I had some of the
Herbo.
funnest nights of my life. I don't
So
know.
many different people I seen in Aqua. man.
Akon, Kim Kardashian,
Akon,
like, we've
Kim.
Had,
Yeah, you had it up. You ran
for
it
sure.
up for sure.
And honestly, everybody that I've hosted has been A+. The only person I had bad experience with was Timbaland.
Right.
oh,
was
what's
just
that
very-
story about?
That's
yeah,
random.
he was just. I know, like you would think he would
Yeah,
be.
you think he'd be
He was
cool.
just was very arrogant. Like he walked in, he just wouldn't talk to anybody. And I worked on
It always be them lame ass niggas that be
Yeah.
behind the camera than in front of the camera that act like that.
And not just the bad experience I had with him is, which I usually do. I go up, I introduce myself. I'm Jado, I'm the owner, and I walked up, introduced myself. He's like, "Show me a business card that you're the owner."
Wait, what?
Oh, wow.
He said, "Show me a
way.
business card that you're the owner." I said, "You know what?"
Or I could just show you if we
Right.
could kick you out.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't. And then I'm just kind of like, you know what? Just have a good time. You know what I'm saying? I walked away.
Have a good
I didn't
one,
need to
man.
prove anything to him. I didn't want to, confront him. So I just ended up. But that's just the only bad experience I've had with a celebrity.
How's Kim Kardashian when she came?
Super cool. I mean,
For real?
honestly, she was very genuine. She was. But even we ate at Manny's. She was talking to everybody, very humble.
Wow.
I'm not sure if she wasn't as big as she is now, but she was recognized by everyone, and I ended up dropping off at the hotel, trying to go up with her. She wouldn't let me. She let me down.
Gotta put that in.
Bro, I got that in there. She straight told me, "No, just
Hey, I'm shooting too, man.
yeah,
you
what?
got
have
to,
to,
what?
Have to.
I'm like, it
If
was
Pete Davidson get it,
bro,
hey, man.
right?
Hey,
But I
Why
tried.
Peter's hope.
I'm like, yo, you want? I can stick around and go up with you, take you off the airport later. She's
Yeah.
like, no, I had to get a text and line up. I'm like, all right. So, but Randy Moss was one of the dopest people I've ever met at Aqua.
did KG used to come there?
KG's never been there
Damn.
Have you ever met Prince?
multiple times.
What?
How was that experience? I know you had a Prince story.
Bro, I do have a Prince story. I mean, it's not the most interesting
Yeah,
story, but
but-
it is a Prince story. So, he used to come in at least once a month, and he used either him, his
Dude, if I
drivers
seen
over
Prince-
him, bro.
Yeah, I would. I don't know what I
Yeah,
would
you
have
go
done
to
if
the
I
club
seen
and run
Prince.
into Prince.
First time he's ever walked in, he says, "I have one rule: never play my music when I'm here.
Okay.
Never." He's like, "I don't ever want to hear my music when I'm here."
That's some player
Respect that.
shit.
He would go in, and you'd have the same section was his driver and his personal security guard as well. He would sit in front, and sometimes he'd show up with a female friend. He only drinks bottled water, room temperature. One time it was really, really crazy. So I told his driver just to pull the car around the back. So we went through the back door of Aqua, obviously, like the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, so it's me, him, his female friend, and his driver was coming around. I'm like, Prince, you should call him and have him. And it was, that front was also literally packed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe we should have him go through the loading dock because getting out of here is going to be like hell. And he was like, don't say that. It's going to be like heaven. Bro, I'm like, okay.
I'm trying to
Like I said,
picture myself just being drunk and
Yeah.
seeing Prince in
Right.
the club randomly.
Yeah, bro, and he's literally that
Yeah.
big. Like
He's short?
Are you sure?
Oh, super short.
Say that.
Yes.
It's gonna be like heaven.
Bro, I'll never forget how he said it too, because it was like literally, it was like he's singing a
Like
song.
a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd be like heaven.
there's another one though, on the cart. Or not the cart.
That's
outside.
actually a really good bottle too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I pointed
Tastes so
something.
good.
Yeah,
Hey
it's
man,
good.
hey man.
It's really smooth.
Try the other one. Let's see if I'm 2 for 2.
One thing I noticed about the venues that you've had your hands in is that you stayed away from food mostly.
Yeah, just there's no money in food.
No money?
No. I mean, you go from making 20% on food profit to
80%
80%.
on alcohol.
And on alcohol, if you're doing bottles, you're making like 300% if you're selling the bottle, right? So we used to, I mean, now it's went up, but we used to buy
That's why you didn't mind giving me so many free
right
bottles.
there. $25 Grey Goose, we sold
What?
it for $2.50, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because if it balances out
Yeah.
at the end of the day, right?
And then food is just liability. People complain about it. It's not
People
worth
getting
it.
sick,
Yeah.
all types of stuff. Yeah.
So,
It can be very
You
tragic.
remember that night at the Fine Line when I fucked my knee up? And then you were like, you might need to go to the hospital.
bro,
And I said, fuck
absolutely.
that, I'm going to Aqua.
Bro, I swear to
Wait,
God.
what? Tell
Nigga, I
us.
limped into Aqua, nigga. I couldn't feel my leg by the next morning.
His knee was like hanging, and he was like, "I'm like, bro, you should, like,
Bro,
you
because
should
he
go
tried to
hospital."
be on some rock star shit.
Yeah.
He tried to dance on a piano.
Yeah,
He thought he was Prince.
and he
Thought I
was
Travis Scott.
left Fire Line, went to Aqua till 2 a.m. and yeah,
Bro, I woke up the next morning. I tried to get out of bed. I couldn't move my leg. I had to roll and like step on one foot off the bed and hop and literally get a ride to the hospital right away.
But you had a great time at
I
Aqua.
think it was amazing.
Immaculate.
He never
Had a bad time at Aqua.
He said, "Nah." Jado looked at me. He said, "Well, if you're gonna go to Aqua, what are you drinking? Because you got to get wasted."
for sure. I just couldn't believe he actually was still able to walk.
I still finished hosting the set too. I didn't get off stage until after I was completely done, and then I limped off. Like I limped on stage the rest for at least
show
another
was
20
it, Jake?
minutes.
What
I think
show
it was Mod's son and Auburn and Bobby Raps. It was that
Yep.
charity show.
Cherry
Oh,
show,
shout
yeah.
out to Mod too.
Yeah.
We didn't speak about Mod,
Right.
but Mod has done a lot for Minnesota.
for sure,
He represents Burnsville to the fullest.
absolutely.
He's not one of those people that moves to LA and then kind of shies away from the fact that he's from out here.
Yeah, he
Right.
comes back, spends
All the
most
time.
of the holidays here too.
Yeah.
So he's a very family man. Like he's really close to his mom and sister.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, the most important element is that he always reps home.
I threw up on his mom one time.
Oh, you did?
Pour me a little
Shit,
No way.
Bro, I haven't
That's
You
a story we wanna
you
hear.
can't just say that, bro. Like, come on, go back to
That was
that.
when y'all was on tour?
Not even tour. It was like an off date. I was DJing. We were going to South Dakota. Drive out there, drinking Hennessy the whole way there. And then I started eating hot Cheetos. And then on the way back, on the way out of the show, you know, fans are showing us love. Somebody's like, "Yo, you should shotgun a beer with me."
Oh,
Right
Tough.
before I get in the truck.
Okay.
So I'm in the back of the truck. Stomach bubbling. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But his mom and his sister are with us. Like, his sister's up front. His mom's like right there. Bro, at one point I'm just like, yo, stop. Open the door before I can even make it out. Throw up all the whole truck. We only halfway back. So now we still gotta.
So it smelled
Oh
like
my
throw up
God.
the whole way back, or what y'all do?
It smelled
it's
like
like-
Hennessy and
it's
hot
Cheetos, bro.
Oh,
So I'm like, but you know, I'm drunk, so I'm just trying to brush it off, like act like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe they won't treat it like a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
So I'm like kicking it out of the car. Bro, his sister was so mad at me, bro.
my
I
God.
felt so bad.
That's so funny.
It was one of those experiences where it's just like, I'll never forget this, but we
Nah,
probably won't
facts.
talk about it again.
yeah, facts.
That's funny.
I love mine, man. He did a lot for my career, to be honest.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought a whole nother dimension to my career because, you know, being in Minneapolis, we oftentimes don't see DJs outside of a box. It's
Yep.
either like you're a strip club DJ, you're a concert
Club
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah, and even a club DJ, you probably only work at one or two clubs.
Correct.
This isn't New York where you're gonna play 3
Yeah.
or 4 in a night.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
So, what makes a great either employee or DJ or, you know, bottle service worker or security guard?
I actually hit all each category.
The one category that probably generalizes everybody is getting people in the door, right? Having people. That's one thing I tell people about having their job. First of all, it starts with us, right? I tell people you don't quit jobs, you quit bosses, right? Like if they're in a happy place, they're never gonna leave. Plus, they're gonna give you the 100%. And in this business, mostly in nightlife and bar and restaurant business, people go places because they either know the bartender or know the server. Like, I still to this day go to certain bars or restaurants because I know the bartender or the server.
You never lied, Jado.
So,
You ain't never lied.
Right? So they play a huge role in our success. So the difference with certain employees is, you know, when they actually reach out to people, say, come see me at Aqua tonight. You know, even I've given people the the freedom to give out free drinks and free shots, and say, get people like, come at my bar, I'll put you running shots on me. So I've also helped them kind of give them some tools to be able to promote for us as well. But some people just don't care.
Yeah. So basically, everybody's a promoter, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. But some girls would go a lot harder on social media than other girls, or just I've had a girl that would text her whole. She has a group that's her clientele. Come see me at Aqua tonight. So difference is loyalty, how hard you actually go promoting and pulling people in the door. When it comes to DJ, I've always judged a DJ based on how he cracks the floor. Like, if you're playing, if you know how to read the crowd and play for the crowd, that's how I value as a DJ. A lot of DJs, as you know, play what they like to hear, right? And sometimes DJs don't know how to, switch it up. If something's not working, they either push it too hard or they're trying to go a complete different way. You just got to know what the crowd wants and play, accordingly.
While we're on that, shout out to Ray Mills. Ray
Mills used to hold it down.
Yeah, he put that club on his back, and he represented it to the fullest.
100%. I literally owe Ray a lot of success for Sundays as well. And, same, like even you guys, till this day, I brag about you guys because you were young and hungry and still, 100%. Like, you guys promoted for free the majority of the time, right? So
got to get your foot in the door.
Absolutely.
To get that foot in.
But we also brought artists there too. We brought like Somo.
Yep. Yeah. That's one of the best shows I've ever had.
That shit was wild. It was on the West.
You guys, YP said
on a Wednesday.
YP said it was a top show.
Well, it was the first show I ever did, bro. Line was all the way down to damn near Monarch.
Yeah.
It was me, YP,
all girls.
Polo, who is now DJing a lot at Monarch.
Yep.
And Juice, who works at the Vault.
Well, okay.
Yep.
And
Wednesday night, packed.
Yeah.
Wow.
18-year-old white girls. A whole dance floor.
We even did 16 plus parties at Aqua, which was very rare.
Way before hashtag.
You guys were the only actually people because 16 plus, it's liability and no money for me, right? But again, it was kind of like, how can I pay these guys back for kind of promoting for me on Sundays, doing the free stuff, and again,
that was because of our relationship with Jake and Mark, which we should talk about.
R.I.P. Man, that's
Mark was a cornerstone of Minneapolis, like as far as booking.
Sure. Facts.
Absolutely.
Putting together events. He was a very close friend of Bobby Raps and Tip.
Yep.
Mark was somebody that he did a lot for the city. He was one, if I'm not mistaken, he was putting together a zombie pub crawl.
Yep. He's the one that brought me into it.
Yep.
He introduced me to Andy, who's now is the Armory too, but he was the GM at Target Center at the time. One of the best people that I've ever met as well in the industry. Mark connected me to a lot of successful people that still till this day play a huge role in my life, and I'll never forget when I got the call about Mark passing away. I literally got goosebumps thinking about it. It's just they don't come like Mark. You know what I'm saying?
He looked out
smart, looked out for everyone, didn't care about himself. I mean, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met. He had like a whole different like science gig and medical gig that had nothing to do with music.
For real?
And bro, when Mark was worth a few mil, and you would never know.
No, he just would walk around with the sweater on, with laptop. Just you wouldn't even know he's the promoter for the show.
Right. Yeah.
You just think he probably worked there or something. You'd just be like, "Yo, what's up, bro? How you been? Good, cool. Have a good night." Coolest dude ever, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You think we're gonna have a pub crawl this year?
Probably. I mean, I feel like things are going back to normal finally, with all these mandates being lifted.
I just saw Coachella. They officially lifted all their mandates. No vaccine.
But then they had a fine print.
What?
Fine print said, "This can change at any point."
Well, yeah. I mean, anything could change these days. But,
they gotta be hard by.
But that's a good sign, though, to see a big major festival
Facts.
that sets the tone for the rest of the year.
And I'm glad it's Coachella, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's gonna set the tone for all these other festivals.
What about Soundset? They bringing that back?
Nah, they can.
It's just done.
It's over, bro.
Man,
We need a new one.
that was a good run.
Yeah.
We need a new festival in the city.
Hey,
Sure. Let's
talk
put it
about it,
together.
YP. Let's talk about
Come
it.
on, YP.
Come on, YP. Let's make it.
Let's make it happen.
Make it happen.
Into reality. Come
Yeah.
Hey, it's not that far fetched.
No.
Okay.
Minnesota has always been a great musical city.
Mhm.
Like, so even with First Avenue, I mean, it's one of the
Iconic.
greatest, iconic venue, and just all these concerts that we threw, it's always, we've never really thrown a failed concert in Minnesota. I mean, there's obviously some that have, but for
Not
the
us.
majority, but no, not you guys. I'm referring to like
no,
big,
as I'm saying here,
yeah.
none of us have ever failed, to be honest.
Absolutely, like even like this, Sound Sense and all these big. I ever remember him having a bad
Just
year.
a bad year.
Yeah.
Even if an artist didn't show up, they found a way to make another artist come that fast. And it's
Even
just
when it's like a big artist.
a big artist. Like, what? One time Uzi didn't show up. Next thing you know, boom, they had another artist right then and there.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
had Cardi.
the baby. They pulled the baby out of
and then
nowhere.
another year, who didn't show up when they had Cardi? Whenever someone doesn't show up, they get the hottest nigga.
Yeah.
Like, they got the baby in its pinnacle, right when he was
Right after,
blowing
I'm
up.
like, bro, how do you
Cardi,
just
they
get...
had him right after Magnolia dropped his replacement artist. That shit's crazy.
Bro, they had Post Malone before he blew up
Yeah.
on the side, freaking.
Yeah, I thought it was after party that night.
I was like, bro, this is the first time I remember. I'm just like hearing White Iverson live, and I'm like, bro, this is like just seeing the crowd. I'm like, bro, this kind of feels like different.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, Big is
Biggest
selling
thing in the
out
world.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sure.
I knew something was different about this dude, bro.
Do you have a speed round?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'd like to get to that.
All right, Jado.
All right.
We got a segment we call Speed Round.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a phrase, whether it's this or that, or just a sentence, and you just answer whatever comes to your head. You don't have to be the only one that answers. OIP can.
Okay.
Feel free to answer if you feel like you want to chime in, but we need your answer.
Okay.
All right. So I forgot about this one. Favorite Kardashian?
Kim.
Anybody else? You look like you're thinking Kim.
Do the Jenners count?
Yeah, I was gonna.
I'll go Kylie.
I thought you were
If
going to
we're
say
talking-
Bruce.
Close.
Hey, yo.
Hey,
Hey, yo.
That sounds like, whoa, bro.
What's this nigga talking about? You was crazy for that,
That
bro.
was you, bro. Multifamily or commercial real estate?
Fuck.
Be all right.
Shit. You're good. It wouldn't be white people.
Yo,
Yo, get him on camera. Get this man on camera, yo.
He spilled a whole drink on somebody's the DJ's laptop at 7 a couple weeks
Oh
ago.
my! Did it shut down?
Shut down.
Got it fixed though.
How, bro?
good.
Just tell me how.
I'm telling you, it wouldn't be YP.
Bro, somebody was pouring a shot in my cup, and I'm like, dude, I don't want it.
No,
No,
right now,
this.
how?
This I was laughing at this shit.
Bro, all right.
All right, back. Okay, so multifamily or commercial real estate?
Multifamily
Top 5 rappers right now to you.
in the country,
Ever.
ever dead or alive.
Whatever you like.
Drake,
Okay.
Tupac,
Okay.
Eminem,
Okay.
Jay,
Solid.
Wayne.
Wayne for sure.
Okay.
for
That's a solid
That's a
top
solid
5.
five.
And
can't argue
the
that.
most
I can't argue
underrated artist I see currently, I think, is Russ and Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas, yeah.
Those two, I feel like they don't get the credit they deserve.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. Strip clubs or nightclubs?
Nightclubs.
Why'd you hesitate?
Yeah, I know. It's a close one.
Cam, strip clubs or nightclubs?
Strip close.
YP?
Nightclubs.
You're right. Hesitate. I'll go nightclubs, but I've had great times at strip clubs.
In the right city.
I feel like strip clubs, you don't.
It's the right city. That's what
Yeah.
it is. It's the right city.
Plus,
Yep.
you don't
the right girls.
frequent enough as a nightclub. You
Yeah,
just end up
you're
going to
right.
nightclubs
Yeah,
more,
it's
but-
in the mood. I mean, some people frequent them a lot. We're not going to talk about that.
Lunch.
Wings. Best concert you've seen live?
The Weekend.
What about you, Cam?
Travis Scott. Fine line.
YP?
No cap. That's a whoa.
Yeah. Oh my! You just brought
You
that
just
back.
snapped.
Yes.
Yup, that might
I
be it.
forgot.
That's it?
Fine line is one of
Scott
my
at the
favorite
Fine
venues,
Line, bro.
too. Like, just the times that we had there, it was so intimate, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine Line was a well-ran venue. Security and the staff was professional, but it was very small.
Yeah.
So it didn't take much to fill it up, and a lot of times those people that were there as fans were like real hard.
Real hardcore fans. I would say
Now,
mine
who
was
in that bitch?
Kanye.
Masha.
You said Kanye?
Kanye, Life of Pablo, Target
That was
Sale.
insane.
That was
XL,
excellent.
XL,
That was
yeah.
XL, yeah, that was
Can
Fire.
we talk about Kanye? We can go back to the
Yeah.
fast.
What
but
are you
can
talking
we,
about? What are you talking about?
I love Kanye.
I love, yeah.
He's one of obviously my favorite artists of all time, but do you think what he's currently doing is a strategy, or is he really struggling?
No, he's
Strategy.
struggling.
You think so?
I think it's
strategy.
I think it's a strategy. Personally,
I think so.
He goes to one of those.
Strategy.
He goes to one of these situations every 2 years, bro.
And when he's about to drop,
it's always
like album about to drop. Last time he did the
bro.
5 albums that he all produced, and it was something he just. Otherwise, Kanye don't do. He be in the background.
Yeah, he don't be on social media, bro.
He be mute.
Forget the album. The Netflix series dropped today.
And the Netflix series,
you know,
like,
me,
so
it's got to be strategy, bro.
Yeah.
He's
He's
not
a great promoter, but y'all know,
Bro, he's
when you
billionaire,
see people on social
bro.
media, he's down bad right now.
But he's different, bro. He's in the billions. Like
Type in all caps.
he knows what he's doing, and then he's gonna apologize and say, "I didn't know." He's texted and communicated with people. He knew all caps. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like he just.
And
you're saying
this is Kanye.
So he's
This is
essentially
Kanye.
trolling Kim.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I
To
think
get everyone's attention.
Because he's
And
gonna go
when drops
viral
it.
every time, bro.
But I think it might backfire in one way, and that's just probably the dad and me talking.
Yeah, your kids
Kim
are
can
saying
use that shit in court for custody reasons.
Not only
Like,
that, but those kids are gonna have to go to school or be around other peers one day, and they're like,
Your
"Yo,
dad's wildin'.
tweaking on the internet."
yeah, for sure. I'm
Look at
just
this
saying,
meme I just made of myself on your dad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
exactly.
literally.
But I'm just saying, if Kim wants to say he's not mentally stable enough
Yeah,
to
you're
handle
right.
custody,
Yeah, it's gonna work.
He's literally showing the whole
showing
world. that
showing
he's
the
not.
world.
So,
There's documents between it. Yeah, you're
so
right.
To me,
You're-
that it might be for a strategy, but it might backfire against the most important thing for him, which is a father. you know,
Yeah.
so.
He went and bought a home near where his
Was that actually
soon-to-be
true?
ex-wife.
Was that actually true?
It is.
So you
No,
It
he
is, but
actually-
said
yeah,
he wants to be close to his kids. And I get it.
As a real estate agent, would you recommend that though? Somebody you're going through a divorce with currently, you want to go buy a home near them?
No, absolutely
Probably
not.
not.
Yeah. I mean, I might recommend it for one reason, because I probably would have to sell it again soon.
double up, double up, double up.
No, I'm not that unethical. But I don't know. I hope, like I said, I hope it's a strategy. I don't think it's a good idea no matter what. I think Kim as a woman, I mean, which woman doesn't love that kind of attention? Right now, it could get to a point where it's
It's over.
it's freaking out or it's creepy to a point. But I just hope, I think he needs his close friends to sit him the fuck down
And see
say,
what he's trying to
"Kanye,
do, yeah.
we're worried about you. This is not the right thing to do. Let's figure this shit out.
They're gonna be out that door if they do that.
I mean,
Kanye's one of those people. If
Yeah.
you go
Yeah.
against him, you're gone. Bye.
Yeah.
Find God.
But the
Yeah.
same way you
Yeah,
guys are
find
saying
God.
that Kanye's a genius. Excuse me, Kim is also.
Yeah.
She knows media, social media. She knows how to manipulate the media. She could be trolling right back.
True.
I don't even know what her relationship with dude might not even be real. She might just.
If
be
we were
messing
just
with
talking about that the other day, like, what if that Pete Davidson was like a month thing? Like, hey, I just want to blow you up real quick and just go dump you.
Man, low key, Pete Davidson had a solid run, bro. His
Yeah.
lineup is crazy.
For sure.
He used to be with Ariana Grande.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Pete Davidson for
sure.
the
Yeah,
run
that's-
he's had.
Mad
Hey,
respect
he
for
got
him.
a
You can't
solid
hate on the-
Can't hate on it.
Hey,
He
he's
got
Pete
game.
for sure.
He's definitely.
And one thing, like I learned with Pete Gravitt, and he's been with a couple, like
Top.
tens,
Yeah.
Top.
is if you make a woman laugh, that's good enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like if your sense of humor can get you a long way, even longer than better looks, and and it's just. I literally, you make a woman laugh, you got her.
Speaking of that, me and Cam, we need woman advice. So
Bro, I got
NYP here.
Whatever you need.
YP for sure.
As you can see by his sweatshirt.
Hey, yo.
So, we might have to go off record.
We
for
might
that,
have to.
Well, I'll let you have to.
but let me tell you
Don't
one
spill
thing
no wine
that
at the dinner table, you know what I'm
for
saying?
sure no, but says who?
Says,
Just who?
yeah, bro, that still don't make sense to me.
I do tell people, dudes fall in love through their eyes, women fall in love through their ears. If you got game, I promise
Yeah, we don't have any of that.
Yeah, I mean
We're
listen,
learning. We're learning,
gosh,
Jado.
I got game for days, and I mean it in a humble way.
Yeah.
I've been around the block twice.
Yo, tell him twice. Tell him again, Jado.
So I got you. Yeah, whatever you need. That's.
No, I think we're just attracting the wrong type of women. To be honest with you, they're
what
just,
kind? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like they're just opportunists. They just around for a good time, partying.
That's what it is. I think it's more the opportunist thing. It's like, okay, maybe we're just still getting to know each other, but it's just like, I feel like the value is not even in both standards. It's like, I might get you into the club, I might get you drinks, I might cook for you, but
might introduce you.
might
to some
introduce
cool
you to
people.
somebody you might never been introduced to. And it's not just no cocky shit, but that's just like
you're here
sometimes
for-
everyday
you're here for-
shit.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, so what happens next? Like, what do I get from not like that point, but like what is there? Like, are you teaching me something? Or are you bringing something to me?
Or are you just here for the lifestyle?
I mean, you guys are exposed to a lot more women than most dudes, right? And you're exposed to women that love the lifestyle that you showcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you party, you know, you like to have a good time. Women want to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you know that somebody's after that or not? You got to date. Like, that's why I tell people you date to know if you're compatible enough to get married or not.
Mm-hmm.
I met my wife within the second date. I knew that was going to be my wife. And I've dated maybe 1,000 women in my life.
And you never thought that before?
Never, not
See,
once.
that's my problem is every
Never
single
once.
time I think that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm like, this gotta be the one.
yeah, but that's, I mean, I've thought I wasn't confident like I was with my wife. Like, I'm like, this girl got potential, but I never felt like she's going to be the one, and she wasn't, right? But you got to date. You got to get to know them, especially now, man, with social media. It's a different world. Like,
It is.
They have access to you in a different light than you would if you're sitting down and having a conversation with them one-on-one. But my only advice when it comes to women is make sure you marry somebody who's going to hold you down no matter what you go through. Like, that's one thing I love and respect about my wife is that she doesn't care about the lifestyle. She doesn't care what I own, how much I own. She's with me through thick and thin. And that's one thing that made me kind of be attracted to her from the get-go. And that's how I felt when I first met her. And obviously I dated her. I need to know if she's about it or not. But that's one thing I can basically go to sleep and feel comfortable is that I have a woman who's going to be with me no matter if I'm successful or I'm broke.
That's just faith in your heart, or you like have to put somebody like that through tests?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there a little like test that you put? You're like, oh yeah, she passed. Okay, cool.
I've done multiple tests, and you know, which is I'm not proud of because I feel like it was the wrong strategy to use.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I kind of failed her, the faith or the trust. But and considering what I've been through, and you know, also I've dated girls that didn't want to be with me because you know of who I was or you know or my character. That wanted you know be so. I've always kind of been not traumatized, but in the back of my mind, is this woman is with me because of what I own or what I have, or is she really with me because she's truly in love with the person that I am? So I've done multiple tests from the first time we started until halfway through our marriage, and I got to a point where I'm like, I mean, there's no point in doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel that.
It's good to know that there's, you know, some success stories though.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially from people that are in and around our circles, from where we're from, because it's like it's rough out here.
Yeah,
It's rough out here.
for sure.
And
I mean, I'll tell you, I faked being broke as fuck
Oh, that's the
for a
test.
long period of time.
That was the
I'm talking about- yeah, for
test.
sure.
That
I mean,
was the test.
I literally acted like I had nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I lost it all. And
So no,
it didn't-
What
Fogo.
car was you pulling up in though?
Huh?
What
No,
car was
I
you-
still drove the same car, obviously.
So how
but-
you-
So how's you broke?
How was you broke?
Bro, I
Did
mean-
you go to Fogo?
I mean, my car was paid off. I couldn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you just go? I thought I was going to sell it to that point. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
I actually thought I was going to sell her car. You know what I'm saying? So I even, I'm not even kidding. I even went almost as far as like literally putting it on cars.com.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
See,
yo.
babe. Yeah.
No, and I'm not. It might sound like I'm exaggerating.
But enemies are after.
Send me 25,000. But listen, but no, I'm serious. Like
He knows
it got
about
to
the
a point
swindler.
where, you know, and that was kind
Swindler.
of, you know, early in our marriage, obviously. But sometimes you need that peace of mind.
Yeah.
So
I got one question, real estate related. In the metro area, where would you recommend it for somebody who's looking for a single family home right now?
let me just tell you this: we by far are experiencing the craziest market in the history of Minnesota. Like, I'm talking about even last year when it got really crazy, when I would submit an offer and there'll be like 10 offers and I'll be freaking out, right? I put an offer on a house on Saturday. Ron, did you know Ron, the DJ? Ron? So it was Ron. I submitted an offer for him and his fiance. It was 50,000 above asking. There was 48 other offers.
Damn.
We weren't even top 20.
Whoa.
And literally, I mean, the market is that crazy. So to answer your question, where's the right city? Right now, it's not the greatest time to buy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody doesn't need to buy, I'll tell them wait. It's not. And I just don't know how much better it's going to get or how soon. It's just the problem is really low inventory. People don't need to sell anymore. And a lot of high demand. Like, a lot of people got money through, PPP money and unemployment and, these stimulus money. So people had money, and then you get all these programs for like the housing. Interest rate is really low. So it gives you every reason to be able to buy and every reason not to sell.
Not to sell, right.
So that's the problem.
You think it's the same thing with multifamily or just as a whole, real estate as a whole?
Everything. Yep. I put an offer on a duplex in North Minneapolis. It was at $335. I posted on my story. I don't know if you saw it, but we put an offer at $400, so $65 above asking. Didn't get it. I don't know how many offers it ended up with and how much it sold for, but we went $65,000 above and didn't get it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So as far as like, let's say you're touring with a new client, would you prefer, as far as your passion for real estate, to tour like a historic, maybe 1950s home in Minneapolis, or would you prefer to see some new construction in like Brooklyn Park or Maple Grove?
I'm more into the new construction Maple Grove. It's just because, like these older homes, eventually going to have to renovate them. You eventually have to put money in them. Yeah, and then you get all these new homes. You're not going to have to worry about anything. As I'm talking about, if you want to buy.
Yeah.
My passion, obviously, just the new modern lake homes, the super, luxury, updated homes. Yeah, but those are the houses that are fun to watch to show. I showed Cam's house, the owner of Crave, his house on the market. It was listed at
crazy.
Probably the dopest house
in
Minnesota.
No, just seen it on the internet.
Yeah. It was listed at $15 million. They dropped it 10.9. I have a client who's actually submitting an offer on it. And that's probably the dopest house I've ever shown. I showed another house that is actually, it's a true island.
Ontario?
No, it was, what city was it?
Island is crazy.
White Bear Lake. Was it White Bear Lake?
White Bear Lake?
Yep. And it was literally, so we had to go on, it was about a week ago. So we went on ice, right? But in the summer, you can only get to it by boat.
Oh.
Right?
So y'all drove on the ice?
We drove on the ice, yeah. And my client has never been on ice. He was fucking tweaking. It was $6.6 million home, but you can only get it to it by boat. And I mean, in the winter by car. But the crazy part is like, and I asked the listing agent, like, what do you do if it's like April, where the ice is not thin enough to drive, and you can't get on the boat? And there's this some kind of a hoverboard. They actually get on it, and it even so, if it's kind of, it's basically can drive on the snow, on the ice, or on the water.
It's just light enough to be able to glide, kind of.
It's literally like a glide. So, but
imagine, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
Living on the island in Minnesota is just tough,
bro. Imagine on a Friday night, you're high as fuck, smoking a joint. You want to Uber eat, and
ain't no.
What do you do? That's the first thing I thought about.
Or if you tell like some friends or some girls to come over, and they're like, we don't really want to drive our shit.
Or if you're smashing a girl and you're like, what are you gonna tell us? Swim your ass to the like get the fuck out of here.
Ain't no really
like, you
kicking
can't call
her
an Uber.
Yeah, you can't really kick them out.
You gotta get an Uber helicopter.
The Uber helicopter is insane.
Right.
Where do they do that?
I don't
They got
in
those.
LA, I
They
think.
got those in LA.
Okay.
I think they got them in New York too, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't been on one or anything, but
I guess that's out of my
I
tax
know you're
bracket.
big on the boat life in the summer, though.
Yeah.
What about? Have you ever been ice fishing, or do you enjoy any Minnesota winter sports or anything?
I'm not a winter dude. I'm all about the summer. I don't ski. I don't snowboard. I don't do none of that. Honestly, I mean, I never got into it. I don't like the cold. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I've been trying to kind of meet halfway in the middle. Like, there's just so much out here to do during the winter that if you're not doing those kind of activities like ice fishing, snowboarding, you're kind of just in the crib.
I know your kid is 2.5, but is there anything that she enjoys doing as far as activities?
Well, I just took her tubing.
Okay.
I'm thinking about getting her into snowboarding. I think I'm gonna wait till next season though. It's getting late in the season now, but I mean, I'm not a huge winter dude. My brother, he's always going ice
Mike
fishing.
wants us to do a podcast on the ice.
Like
Oh,
in
that's
an
a
ice
good idea.
house.
That's a really dope
See,
idea.
now look. Now
a
you
dope
gave
idea.
him even more confidence.
Yeah.
But we got to do it soon, though, if we're going to do it,
If
bro.
we're gonna do it, we gotta
He's,
be
he's
like,
about the
ASAP.
boats, unlike when it's
Oh,
talking
man.
to
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
about
is.
the boats.
And did you know the story about when my battery died?
The boat.
What?
Yeah,
When
it was
the
on the was it Memorial or 4th? Memorial.
I think it was
Memorial.
Was it 4th?
It was the 4th of July. It was the 4th of
4th of
July.
July.
What happened?
I had the radio on, and the boat wasn't on, so it killed the battery.
Speakers.
So
I remember
couldn't
Mike
leave.
said that. You got to
Yeah.
unplug the radio, yeah.
For sure. And, I think, somebody called Oh, Andre ended up calling you because he was on my boat. Then you pulled up with the battery, but it was so
we
dead.
We jumped a few people on Tonka, actually.
Yeah, it wouldn't even jump at the tow truck.
Sucked up all the juice from my.
No way.
Yeah, we were swimming from boat to boat. That shit was fire. It was like 10 boats lined up, tied up together.
For sure.
Motherfuckers just jump from boat to boat. You don't know whose boat's who.
That's something different.
You know, 5 people on each boat though.
Yeah, that 4th of July Tonka, like it's something.
Tonka in general in the summertime, bro. 100%. Big Island, it's just like something you can't explain to somebody. We brought somebody who's from Mississippi out here. And he was
Shrimp. Shout out to Shrimp.
4th of July out there, like just in like he's like bewildered, like he's like
so
calling his homies.
Tie your boat to random other people's boat and just drink.
Yep.
Yeah, literally calling his homies on FaceTime, like, "Yo, bro, do you see this? Like this, what?"
Nigga don't know how to swim. He's like, "Man, I got to get in that water." I said, "Bro, you can walk in it. Trust me." He said, "All right, bro, give me a life jacket. We got to go see what's on the other side."
Yeah.
Nigga, we get on one boat. There's a DJ on it.
Yeah, there was over there. Sure. Yeah. It's different.
Like you said. It's definitely a very unique experience that people don't think it exists in Minnesota. So
yeah, in Minnesota, you got to get involved in Minnesota stuff. Otherwise, you'll be just sitting at home, just kind of complaining, like, "Man, I'm so bored."
Tweeting about, "Oh, it's cold."
Tweeting about, "I miss Aqua."
"Oh, I miss Aqua." I know Jado.
Let's get to the business tips.
Oh yeah, business tip of the week. So,
did you? Sorry, I know I cut you off. Are you done with the whole fast one?
Oh yeah, the speed round.
I'll get one more question just because I think it'd be funny. I think you probably have a good answer for it. And Cam, you might have one too. Craziest DM you've ever gotten?
Well, let me. Okay, so.
How do I explain?
I mean, no, it's because like I got married when DMs had just first started.
Oh yeah, right? The time frame is a little different.
And not to sound cliche again, but I've always extremely loyal. I've never cheated. So I've gotten some stuff done. Nothing crazy enough that I would say it, right? Because there's some girls that are still trifling. They know you're man. They still send out. But I haven't been, available for a crazy DM.
Okay, so since you're way before hashtags, let's go. Craziest thing a girl has approached and asked you, like, out the gate.
In real life.
I'll give you an example. The craziest shit that girls say to me is, like, involving my child. It's like, you don't really know me, and you're bringing up my kid because, obviously, we post our children on social media. Like, some of our followers and, like, our audience starts to be so engaged that they think that they know us.
Yep.
And to me, that's such a boundary. Like, I get that I post her, but, like, you shouldn't be bringing her up in our conversation, to be honest, beyond, like, oh, she's cute. Like, people will say things like, I want to meet your child, da-da-da. I'm like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
To even be speaking about my family, that just throws me off, like, extremely. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
People will act like they know my child who's 2.
It's just some girls feel
who
like
don't even know themselves.
Don't even know me.
Yeah, but they feel like that's a way to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I show interest in his kid, he might think that I'm.
They definitely do.
So for sure. I mean, I don't think everybody's ever came up and said something crazy to me. I was at behind the Aqua Bar VIP with my wife. And the woman came and she was like, Jado, and I turned her on. She goes like this. I went like this. Well, I'm literally have my arm around my wife.
I would have had to be like,
that's not crazy. Am I tripping? I'm wilding. Is that not crazy?
Oh, you want to hear crazy? No,
I'm like, okay, this is a cordial story. Then the titties came out. I'm like, whoa, that's a little crazy.
Yeah. And then my wife got mad at me. I'm like, well, fuck you. I didn't do shit. Like, I'm like, I literally got upset. I'm like, yo, just get her out. Because it was disrespectful to my wife, obviously. But why were you mad at me for? Like, what did I do? But that's so. But it wasn't like something that was said, just done.
Done.
That's wild.
I've seen some crazy things at Aqua before, too.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, I've seen people have sex on the dance floor. Like, that's...
Wait.
Yeah, I've never seen that. No.
Real sex?
Real sex. Like...
Baby, let's go.
Where on the dance floor?
Well, is there fake sex, might be?
No,
like, bro, like butt naked fucking on the dance floor?
No, it's obviously not butt naked,
her
bro.
hands at the bar, and he was just stroking from the back, pants down. Both of them. Bro, yes.
You got to be a different type of
table.
Yeah. But at least go to that little cut corner tables, you know what I'm talking about? The ones downstairs?
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever been that horny in my life.
You remember the VIP bathroom upstairs?
Yeah, the VIP bathroom. Actually, no,
Wait,
for
there was
sure.
a bathroom up there?
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah. I mean, that I don't think I've ever seen one person walk out.
Just one. Yeah, never.
Good times. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go to our last and final segment. We call this the business tip of the week. So we know you're an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. So as we go through, we just want to give advice to maybe somebody who's trying to get, maybe it's a real estate, maybe they want to be a club owner, maybe they just want to learn how to network with other people. What's kind of like a business tip or gem, you could throw out and give to them that they can probably take with them?
There's a few. I'll just kind of mix them together. Biggest thing I'd say, really tap into your own network. Like sometimes there's a lot of people you have access to that you don't know what the value they can bring you. Talk to people, obviously be respectful, but reach out to people, ask questions, ask for tips, ask for advice. I always have people DMing me saying, what do you, ask me a question. I respond every one of them right away. The thing is, you don't really know, what one person can completely change your life with just a simple question. As far as business advice, invest in real estate, never use your own money, never put money in the bank. Your biggest asset in life, one thing that really generate generational wealth is real estate. That will always hold value, that will only go up in value. 90% of the world's billionaires are real estate based, right? I'm not talking about just agents, like people that buy, own. I'm just going to give you an example. You need, if you want to buy a duplex, right? You need, a certain amount down, let's just say 10K. You buy a duplex, you live in one, you rent one, right? Then the one you're renting from, that becomes income because you're making money, you're renting it. Then you take that money, because you don't make much off a duplex. You probably cash flow $2,000 from a duplex.
You'll probably just get in to live free and then maybe get some extra cash.
Right, but then you can use that income, that $2,000, to buy a second one. You're not going to make a lot owning one duplex that makes you $2,000. But imagine owning 100 that make you $200,000, right? It's all about, and the most difficult one is the first one to buy, because that's the one you need to use your own income to qualify for it. Now you use that income to qualify for the second. Then your third, now you're using two incomes to qualify for the third. For the fourth, you the three incomes, it just becomes easier and easier. And then the banks, you leverage what else you own, like have three, so they give you more money. Right? And you just, the most difficult step is buying the first one, is having the balls to take a loan and buy it, right? But what people don't understand, it doesn't work out. Sell it, you get your money back, right? So that's what people don't understand, is how easy it is to build generational wealth for your family. I've put myself in a position where if God forbid something happens to me, my kids or wife will never have to worry about a day in their life to ever work or survive. And that was my goal.
It's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's literally what I lived for maybe 5 years of my life, is to work my ass off, build enough wealth to, because especially, I mean, look at COVID. People were dropping like flies. I could have died, right? So, and imagine, not having me, passing away, for example, having my wife and kids struggle for the rest of their life, because who's going to look out for them, right? So, and you got to really know who to trust. The people that have hurt me the most are the closest people to me. So I got to a point where, sorry, I'm going through different subjects, but
no, you're
I'm
good.
just going through
Drop
advice.
them gems, baby.
So,
drop them gems.
Is, you have to really limit people has really close access to your heart and soul, because those are the people that hurt you the most.
Right.
And if I have one advice for you, is trust nobody if you don't have to. Like, I know you guys are childhood friends and you guys would kill for each other, and that's something that you could never ever replace, right? But it's very rare to feel people like you that actually, that no matter, you can walk in a room and find him stealing money out of your bag, and you're probably gonna go check your eyes because you think they failed you, right? That's how much you trust them, right? Fact. So that's really hard to find these days, right? So
it is rare.
Yeah, so if you have those kind of people, bro, hold on to them and just stick with them for life, because this type of loyalty doesn't exist anymore. This generation doesn't believe in loyalty like we did previously. But
that's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, to me, I live and die by loyalty. And one thing is very important for people to know is you can't pick and choose what you're loyal about. Like, I can't be loyal to my friends but cheat on my wife, right? I can't be loyal to my business partners and fuck my best friend over. Like, either you have it in you as a person or you just don't. And red flags are there for a reason. Like, don't disregard them. The reason I've put myself in a very vulnerable position, because I've disregarded red flags because I genuinely love certain people. Right. But yeah, man, just believe in yourself. And I really mean when I say there's nothing you can't do. You know what I'm saying? If you truly, confidence is everything in life. Like, I've had to convince myself that I'm the best fucking real estate agent in Minnesota, And that's how I was able to convince everybody else that I'm the best fucking agent in Minnesota.
What'd you say? You say you're the best what?
Best real estate agent in Minnesota.
Okay, I thought I heard that. Yeah,
for sure.
Say it again. Say it again.
I mean, it's and there's a lot of us, but there's certain strategies that I've developed and I've used that have put my clients in a great position.
Right.
And that's what differentiates people from different agents. So, but again, confidence is everything in life, and obviously you guys have done great in life at a very young age, and I wouldn't tell you to change anything that you're currently doing, except just go hard, man, every single day.
Go hard.
That's what life is about. You get what you put in. I sleep 4 or 5 hours a day because I want to be able to sleep in when I'm 50 and 60, be able to take my kids on trips anytime I want. So put in the work now so you can relax later.
Right.
Great answer.
I would say my business tip is kind of piggyback off some of the things you said. I would say don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20.
For sure.
So when you're taking that risk, when you're taking that first step to start something, whether it's a business, a brand, maybe it's real estate, you're not going to know everything, but you do got to take that step. But I can't say, hey, damn, Jado's got a portfolio like this. It's like, no, that's somebody that I'm looking up to emulate some of the success and the systems that he has in place so I can get to that portfolio. But if I'm always constantly saying, man, I'm not as good as Jado at real estate, I'm never going to be as good as Jado at real estate. You know what I'm saying? I got to take those steps so I can get to chapter 2 and chapter 3. And then when I get to that 20, now it's like, okay.
Then maybe you'll be the second best.
Now we can be the second best real estate agent.
I mean, I'm not chasing another real estate agent.
Exactly.
I'm
You're
chasing
competing
MJ.
yourself.
I want to be the fucking GOAT at what I do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what separates you. Like you said, don't compare yourself to an individual. Try to maximize what you can personally do as a person and just go all the way.
Right. Because there's, like they say, success leaves clues. So it's okay to look at people that are successful and be like, okay, this is what they did.
Yeah.
But find your own way. Put your own remix to it. Put your own mix on it.
Yeah.
And then, keep failing, because failing is a part of it. You're not going to do anything and not fail. But learn. Don't sulk in it. Give your time to figure some things out. But if you take too much time, now you're being stagnant. Now you're running on a treadmill. We gotta find ways to keep moving forward. So
and you don't fail. You either win or you learn. There is,
Right. It's a fact.
Yeah.
YP, you got one this week?
Yep. Stay true to the plan. Stay consistent, and just keep on going. And even if it don't happen today or happen tomorrow, it's gonna happen eventually if you stick to it. And don't try to do too much too quick. Just take it one step at a time and just
for sure
let that house build brick
It's
by
a very
brick
good point.
than-
People trying to jump, 5 steps at a
Yeah,
time.
that's kind of what I talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
I won't ramble on about it, but I think I would leave everybody with just something that's relevant to business, entrepreneurship, and just daily life in general. Is just like one bad day doesn't mean a bad life.
Right.
So you always have a reset button to start again tomorrow. I think a lot of people get down on themselves because things didn't go their way today, and you just gotta keep on reaching for positive energy, not wallowing in the negative energy.
Right.
Because you'll get trapped down there.
Don't stress about something you don't have control over. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing you can do but make yourself even more stressed and less productive.
Right.
Correct.
Funny, before we go over close, me and Cam were talking, and man, before we got this all set up, I called Cam probably like an hour before we getting set up. I'm like, Cam, so what are we doing? He's like, man, I'm going through it. I'm like, so what's going on? He's like, honestly, then he like took a big sigh. He's like, honestly, it's not that bad. This is what's happening, but let's figure it out. And I was just like, that's the kind of people you want around. Like, just not to just wade and bathe in all the bullshit that's currently happening. There's a way out.
For sure.
This too shall pass. Let's move on to the next thing.
There's one thing that I want to finish with too is Minnesota in general is a very small state. Everybody knows everybody. And one thing, and I'm going to say that because I truly mean it, everybody, in the room, I know you guys mostly, but reputation is everything, right? You guys I've never, ever once in my life have ever heard anybody say anything negative about you guys at any light, right? In any light. So I think part of the reason that you guys are respected, loved, and, people fuck with you on this level is because you've never done anybody wrong, and you've always showed people respect and love with nothing in return. So that's one thing I would tell you to keep doing, because reputation is everything. One negative comment, and then people would just, especially with how powerful social media is, and negativity spells it a lot faster than positivity. So keep doing what you're doing and show love, and I promise you, sky's the limit for you guys. So, and whatever I can help and support and promote, I'm always on your team. So.
Where can the people follow you, man? Social media, give yourself a little shout out.
I know Jado, just kind of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Jado Hark, realtor, but just. My cell phone number is everywhere. Obviously, I post it because I need people to reach out to me for real estate. But whatever people, if you have any questions, any concerns, any advice, I don't know it all, but I've been around. So I genuinely feel like part of my success has been good karma. I've trying to spread love and share as much knowledge that I can, and it comes back in different ways. So.
What about you, YP? Where they can find you on social medias?
Rowdy Life YP, ROWDY Life YP. Everything. I have everything. It's all the same easy to find.
Thank you guys for being on. Another great episode. I think our podcast keeps getting better and better. The guests keep growing. Our just whole infrastructure and like the movement throughout the conversation has just been getting better and better. So
and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to have you back too whenever that opportunity shines.
What's your plan with this? Like,
so we've had a lot of conversations.
I want to know your vision.
Yeah. So
the vision is, go ahead. You go first.
We initially started this because we always have these same conversations with people, whether it's the cameras are on, whether we're drinking, whether we're in a business meeting. We go on tangents and things get deeper, and we talk about people's success and their stories. And I think we really want to document not only locally, but just everybody that we're connected to in our network. We want to showcase it because there's a lot of people that are, maybe they're younger, or maybe they just are not part of our immediate circle. They don't know your story. They don't know my story. They don't know our history together.
Correct.
And I think it's important to document that and put it in audio form, put it in video, so that, let's say we didn't even put this out. I mean, obviously we got to, because it's just so powerful to share the knowledge of this many great people at one table. Even if we didn't put it out, it's like an artifact. Because we're going to all do even greater things than we've already done so far.
Right. Absolutely.
So I would love to be able to even just myself look back on this in 10 years and say, wow, this is where my mindset was at. This is why I made it this far, is because we were thinking or talking about this type of thing. A lot of young men at 25 are not even talking about these topics.
Correct.
And I think it'd be a great move for us to make it cool to talk about that.
Absolutely.
It's cool to talk about real estate. It's cool to talk about being a father. It's cool to talk about investing in yourself, saving your money. And it's cool, but we also want to have the spin on it of being entertaining too. We can be funny. We can talk about partying. We can talk about women that are in our lives. We're trying to find a balance somewhere between righteous and ratchet. And every episode's a little bit different, but that's really what our goal is, to just share what we already are doing and talking about.
Sure. And I would say too, just like piggybacking off that, like the artifacts and like having the content, it's just like now that we've invested and got these cameras and the lights and the mics and all this stuff, it's like we're no different than just the capability to start like a media company and to build and use these things and give people outside, like YP wants to start a podcast, The Crazy Life of Rowdy YP. You know what I'm saying? We have that capability where we don't have to go out of house to do some of these things.
Correct.
We can tangibly do it and build a base. And if we're consistent, like you said, there's going to be people reaching out like, yo, how'd you guys do some of these things? We build that platform. We build the platform, people that wanted to listen to whatever the hell we got to say, but also give people, the value and the voice to, hey, you have something to say too? Bring on who you know. Let's learn from them. You know what I'm saying? So
because I don't think we're looking for the credit. I think I'm looking to inspire.
Yeah.
I think that's valuable to me.
And that's why I asked, because you guys took, 3-4 hours time of your day to come in here, to set up, to invest all this money. You brought the light on me to my story. I don't owe you anything, right? For as far as you don't owe me anything. This was genuine love.
Mutual.
Exactly. And then, that's what people don't understand. Like, you guys took so much money out of your pocket and time and effort to come here and, put me on this podcast. Just a lot of people don't look at it this way. So I just want you to know I really do appreciate the fact that you're here, the fact that you're interviewing a lot of people, the fact that you're shining the light on people that probably don't have a platform to even tell their stories. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you for those words. I mean, it means a lot more probably to us than you would ever realize.
Yeah, honestly.
Of course, absolutely. So
you guys, another episode, Inside Boys Podcast. Follow us next week. We'll be dropping. We got 4 or 5 episodes saved up.
We got a lot of stuff ready for you guys, man.
He said 3 or 4 hours tonight. We probably invested about 40 hours this week
Right.
alone, and then we do all the editing and audio. And these guys, this is everybody here.
Shout out to the team behind us. You know, we got CP. You know, he been on the episode. We know him. We got my boy Jake behind the camera. Eats like Mike, you know, private diner, private chef, but he does the camera work too, ladies. So if you need a man that can do both, shout out to Eats Like Mike, man. Hey, man, shout out to Jado, man.
We'll see you next week, y'all.
Peace.
Yeah.